So this is going to be the first lesson about playing chords, comping, and hopefully we could get to, let's say, 5-10 lessons that could really improve your ability to play rhythm guitar. So I'm going to start with the very, very basic thing to do when playing rhythm guitar, which is chords. And I'm going to address the really beginners out there. A few things you want to know before we even get started. Rhythm guitar is basically copying the drum part to the guitar, but adding it to the harmony of the song. Harmony is another melody line, but it's not the main one. So if you have a melody which is so this is one melody line, but the harmony to that could be it's a different melody. And if you stack up melody lines that are not the main melody, you will get a chord. That's generally. And rhythm playing is playing that chord with a drum pattern. So if we had, and the drums are playing, so you're gonna play ba da 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 da. So it would never sound as drums, but it's the idea behind it. That's why it's called rhythm guitar. A few things about guitar. We have strings, which is those things, the stringy things that look like iron pasta or plastic pastas that you have on your guitar. And you have frets, which are those wiry things that you have on the fingerboard. The fingerboard is where you put your fingers. You don't put your fingers here, you don't put them here. Normally you could. So, and the two things we care about for now are frets and strings. And we can number them or give them other names. That's the really basic parts that we're gonna need for this lesson. How to play chords. There's many methods on how to begin to play the rhythm parts, the chords, everything. My method is not the right one, it's not the best one, it's just one that I found out to be helpful to get a quick and fun start to immediately start playing. And this is why I give it to my students. I think that basically we'll just want to play and not work too hard for it. To have fun with the guitar. The way we're going to use the chords is we're going to build them up. It's going to be a 3-stage process. The first stage is we're going to play only with one finger on one string. You've seen before when I played the harmony, it was on all the strings, or most of them. But now we're just going to play one. So if you're going to use a pick, which is this plastic thing, I want you to try and push the string so it's stuck between the low string and the next one. I know this is a string that's a bit confusing. This string is closest to the ceiling, not to the floor, and still we call it the low string because it makes a lower sound. Here, this is a high sound like a bird. This is a low sound like a bear or a whale. Very low. Very high. Yeah? So, I want you to use either your thumb to lean on the string and go to the next one and lean on it. This way you make the sound. Or do it with the pick. Okay. So that's how we're gonna play the notes for the chords, and we need to know where to press. So So next part is a bit tricky, and I'm gonna leave a diagram on the comments below. That's learning the notes on the two lowest strings. Trust me, it's gonna be worth your while. So the notes are fret O, like first fret will be this one when I'm pressing my finger against it. So before that we're gonna have a 0 fret when the string is open. So when you see in tabs and stuff like that, the number 0, it means open string. Open as in just the string without me pressing it anywhere. Okay, so the open string, the 0 fret, is E on the lowest string. Then first fret is F, third is G, 5 A, 7 B, 8 C, and 10 is D. And you've seen that I didn't play on all the frets. That's something that's got to do with more complex structures of music, and we're gonna skip that. But for now, just let's try to remember that we have O, 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10. And the notes are E, F, G, and then you go A, B, C. A, 5, B, C, D. Yeah? And again, don't try to learn this diagram by heart, just play songs and you will learn it eventually. The fifth string, because we're counting the strings from the highest one, which is this one. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is 1 before the lowest one. So fifth string, its name is A. It's making the height of tone that equals an A. And it's A on 0 fret. Then we have B on 2, C on 3, D on 5, E on 7, F on 8, and G on 10. And it's might be confusing. Why isn't it all the notes on all the frets or on all the strings the same? That would be easier. Because it doesn't sound. When we say A, we mean a specific note that have a specific height to it. We can't just call any note any letter just because it's more comfortable or less confusing. And that's the confusing part, just learning the notes on these two strings. But don't discourage. The way to do it, to learn it, is by learning songs. So let's take a Nirvana song, very popular one, about a girl. It's from Bleach, I think, and everybody knows it from the Unplugged album as well. It's 2 chords, E, M, E minor, and G. But we said we're just gonna use one string and one finger. So we know that's E, M, and G. And the E minor, it's gonna be written the letter E and the small letter M. For now, let's focus only on the capital letters. We don't care about the numbers, we don't care about other letters. It might be DIM, it might be MAJ 7, 9/11. We don't care about that, we just care about the capital letter. So if we have E minor, that's an E. So that's fret 0 on 6. And then G, it was fret 3. And have the diagram in front of you and just search for the notes. So it's going to be E and G. E and G. And that's pretty simple. And if you want to do that on the A string, you can play. E was 7 and G was 10. You can play E 7 on 5, G 10 on 5, and try to play with the song. Friend I do. try to play it with the album. Yeah. So that's a pretty easy one, and I think that Nirvana and Green Day, there are great bands to start learning from, because the chords are pretty simple. You're not gonna have too much riffs like Extreme, or bands like that are not gonna have crazy chords like, let's say, in jazz or whatever, which is very complex. You're just gonna have a few chords, and if you listen to the song, it will be easier to pick them up. And let's take Smells Like Teen Spirit. Let's start with F sharp. The sharp, if you're very young, might look to you like the symbol, the hashtag symbol. That's actually, I don't know how you call that symbol. I call it sharp because I know it from music notes before I knew it anywhere else. So the first chord is F, hashtag F sharp, and the next one is B, then A, then D. We don't know how to do to use the sharp, right? So, but we won't use F instead. Thing is, this symbol, the sharp symbol, just means you add one fret to the note that you know. So if F is on the first fret, F sharp will be on the second. 1 plus 1, 2. If we have A sharp and A is on the fifth fret, 5 plus 1 is 6. It's pretty simple. You always add 1. If we have B sharp, it's going to be on A, and so on and so on. And if we have flat, which is a symbol of a small B, like looks like a small, not B the animal, B like the letter B, not a capital B, the small one, and it comes after the capital letter. So we might have G, a capital G, and a small b. And that would mean the other way around. We deduct 1 from that. So we have G on the third string. We deduct 1. That would be G flat. So we have the flats and the sharps. And if that is not clear enough, just comment on the video and I'll try to explain it more accurately. So the chords are F sharp, B, A, D. So here we go. F sharp is second, B is 7, A is 5, and D is 10. You see, I only use this finger for now. And now I can do the same on the 5th string, on the next string. You need to find F, so we'll be able to play F sharp, and that F is 8. The sharp makes it 9, so we're going to play 9 for F. B is 2, A is 0, and D is 5. But this song gives a lot of jumping between strings, so we could play it with using this 2 strings. So play the F sharp on the 6th string and the B on the 5th string, the A on the 6th, and the D. It's less jumping around. And if you feel comfortable enough and you did enough songs so you feel that you don't need to use a diagram for most of the chords, and you're starting to feel it. And don't only do 5 songs, do 10, do 20 different songs using just the 1 finger, 1 string, or 1 finger, 2 string method. And then what I want you to do is to add this finger. This is the first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger. I want you to add the third finger a string higher and 2 frets higher. So if we had F sharp on the second fret, we're gonna add the third finger. We had F sharp on the second fret, 6th string. We're gonna add that finger 1 string higher. Instead of 6, it's gonna be 5, and 2 frets higher. Instead of second, it's gonna be 4. And that sounds more like a chord. That's called a power chord. And on the B's that we did on the 5 string, gonna do first finger, second fret, and now we're adding the third finger. See, we're adding it. I'm on the 5th string, 2nd fret, and I'm adding this finger to the 1 string above. That's going to be string number 4, and 2 frets above. Instead of 2nd fret, it's going to be 4. That's again sounds more like a chord. So we had first chord, and we're going to do that for each chord. So you could either use just randomness and say A and play A and then calculate where to put the second finger, or use 20 songs or 10 songs that you already play to work on that. And just play each chord once. Don't try to do any flashy picking. Just when it's A, play A. I hope that was helpful and understandable. Thank you so much for watching. I'll try to post in the next lesson about how to take this to the next level next week. Thank you so much.